South Lakes High School Theater Arts proudly presents The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Majestic! Breathtaking! Mighty! A wonder that cuts through the oaks and the maples in color. America's Rhine, a river of grandness that paints like a master the earth as its canvas.
Just like the Rhine, though, the Hudson breeds mystery, secrets, and stories and songs, born from history, breathe their own breath. As they become tales that take on new life and grow in the details.
The pride of New York, she flows to the sea. After she widens at the Tappan Zee. At that expanse is an eastern shore inlet. A small market town is quaintly herein set. The town has a name that somehow seems proper. Tarrytown. It's quiet, with not much to offer.
Among the hills, though, not far from this hamlet, there's a small valley that's even more quiet. A small brook glides through with a murmuring peep, just enough to lull one into a sleep.
Born from the listless repose of that enclave, and from the way the inhabitants behave, exhibiting a quaint yet peculiar air, who descend from the Dutch who first settled there. This drowsy glen, tucked away from acclaim, for years has been called
Sleepy Hollow
by name.
Some dreamy influence.
Hey, the air there!
Some say it's been visited by an old German doctor.
Others say native folk cast ancient spells. Others draw similar no-to-fill parallels. Certain the place will continue this way. Over some power that holds gentle sway. Over the people, their mind, and their memory, so that they walk in continual reverie.
Old, haunted spots abound in the twilight. Stars shoot and meteors glare in the midnight. Old Lady Nightmare, who plays on men's souls, makes it the favorite scene of her gambles.
These are more common in this ancient valley than anywhere else in the land or the country.
The most famous spirit that haunts in this glen? A specter on horseback that chills hearts of men. He rides like the thunder at midnight, it said. His figure is lacking just one thing. A head.
Throughout the valley, it's far and wide rumored that he is the ghost of a fierce Hessian trooper whose head was shot off and reluctantly traveled with some cannonball during some nameless battle of the Revolution, with this distinct scar having been buried in the old churchyard. He gallops the wood in moonlit routine, in quest of the head that he lost at the scene.
Like a midnight blast, he thunders in haste, for to be back to the churchyard by daybreak. The phantom strikes fear and is renowned as follows.
The headless horseman of Sleepy Hollow.
In Sleepy Hollow and burgs of its sort, embosomed in the great state of New York, the people, the values and customs of old remain fixed and constant in a changeless whole.
But these frightful penchants and fondness for wonder don't only afflict those quaint folks who were born there. Visitors too become quickly imbibed with the haunts and the lore that the hollow prescribes.
One guest of note, a teacher, a thinker, took the bait solidly.
Hook,
Line, and sinker.
The story is his, but the gossips are swelling. They're good at two things:
Talking and telling! Have you heard the news?
are you kidding?
Who hasn't? Hearing the news is my very best talent.
Don't sell yourself short, dear. You know that's not true.
Oh, you're just as good at spreading news, too.
Wait a minute. Is she being cryptic? Are you being cryptic? Be more specific.
Your question was vague.
As if for effect.
You know something, don't you? Some juicy new subject.
You're killing us now. Don't keep us at bay.
What was the news that you wanted to say? Oh, it's nothing important. It's not a great matter. Just something about our newest schoolmaster.
What do you know? Give us some detail.
He went to college, I heard. Maybe Yale. Well, far be it from me to spread hearsay and rumors, but listen to this and hold on to your bloomers.
Yes.
Yes. They say that he's smart and has boyish good looks. They even say he's read several books.
Several books!
Ooh, that's a lot.
I feel tingles.
Not only that, he comes to us single.
A man of refinement.
Of letters.
Of pride.
A man who has traveled in need of a bride.
Are you sure he's looking for a bride, I mean?
Well, not precisely, but it's the routine.
We can dream, can't
The
we?
men here are stones. All except one. Yes, the dashing Brombones.
Abraham, or by Dutch abbreviation, Brom Van Brunt, was a man of causation. He was a strong, burly, roistering blade, the countryside hero who raced, fought, and played. He was the talk of the Hollow's full neighborhood, The country round rang with his great feats of hardihood. From his strong frame, he was later called Bones. So Brom Bones is now how he's commonly known.
To fight or to frolic, he'd be well prepared. But there's more mischief than ill will in his air.
Like most folks who live their lives being adored, Brom had adherents, a small motley horde.
Everyone knew where they were by their noise. Known simply as the sleepy Hollow Boys.
So, Brom, were you at our house again last night?
Maybe.
Your horse was hitched there in the moonlight.
What? Were you spying on me?
No!
No!
Yeah.
I wouldn't say spying. Okay, more or less.
We only do it because we're curious.
You have to admit, Brom, this is getting serious. Ha! See? I guessed it. Well, spare us the mystique. We all know you've been there 3 times this week.
So let's have it, Brom.
Tell us!
What's your confession?
You're in love.
Tell us!
Will you pose the question?
Question? What question?
Will you soon propose?
What? No, I don't. Tell us! Godzookers who know! Oh! You boys think you're smart, but I'm in no hurry. I've got it well in hand, so don't worry. You boys should take lessons from old brother Brom. The ladies don't mind it to be strung along. They love it.
They do?
Oh, that delicate dance. They love the suspense. They call it romance. I'm in control, not like you sorry fools. It looks like you boys need more learning in school.
Speaking of school, what about the new master?
I haven't seen him. What's he like?
Disaster.
He comes from Connecticut.
Drat. Don't they all?
He's narrow and lank.
He walks with a lull.
His hands hang a mile down out of his sleeves.
His feet are like shovels.
You wouldn't believe.
We saw him as far out as our eyes could yield.
We thought that a scarecrow alone from the field.
Sounds like a fine pill for students to swallow. Another dimwit's made his way to the hollow.
He asks us in school if our mothers can cook.
Or if we have sisters who have pretty looks.
And if we say yes, then bam! We see him at dinner.
Making sweet talk with our sisters and mothers.
Your poor ladies. He must irritate them.
Oh, you think so? But none of the ladies here hate him.
Oh, what a fine meal, dear Frau Van-Pinner. Oh, call me what you like, just not late for dinner. They love him, in fact.
They can't get enough.
How can that be? He's not handsome or tough.
You think he's the finest thing in all creation.
They call it Connecticut sophistication. He's read several books.
So, Mr. Crane, what have you seen of the world? Have you traveled?
Oh, I've traveled the world through books.
Oh.
I've read several.
Yeah, but that's dumb. Gals here don't like that. I know the ladies in their habitat. Can he throw a keg of ale into the air?
No!
Can he ride and shoot and wrestle a bear?
No!
Chop down a forest and build a log cabin?
No!
Can he grow a beard as fast as I can?
Probably not.
Can he howl like a wolf? Can he growl? Can he growl?
We doubt it.
Can he woo the ladies like good old Brombo?
Yes!
I can't even read.
Look! I'm the hero, you ignorant dunces! Now, who's the manliest man in the promise?
As Ichabod first made his way through the neighborhood, he walked with a confidence in his new livelihood. Ichabod's presence could not be refused. He cut a figure that made folks amused. People would talk as he loped his way by, whistling and singing and catching all eyes. 2 men were waiting on the school's new master.
Ah, Hans Van Ripper!
Parson Van Pastor.
Excuse me. I'm new here. Are you the pastor?
The parson.
Ah, Parson.
He's Parson Van Pastor. I'm Hans Van Ripper. You must be the new schoolmaster.
Yes, I am. I just walked from Colchester. Ichabod Crane's the name, teacher, and pedant.
Do you know what that word means?
Yeah, I just said it.
Right.
Well, we're certainly off to a start.
Well, that's something. I wish it were better.
What was that?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, I am the superintendent of our little school. Ichabod Crane, we've been expecting you.
Here is the schoolhouse.
And there is your bed.
We see you have books.
We hear you're well read.
Yes, I have 2 books that I brought along.
You have a psalmody.
Ah, for singing psalms.
Yes, I know that. Now, what is the other?
Oh, this one is by the esteemed Cotton Mather.
The history of New England witchcraft. What is your interest in this puzzling draft?
Well, the Reverend Mather, as I'm sure you know, was once a famed preacher, my personal hero. The cautioning words he purports in this text are wisdoms to help one avoid being hexed.
Ye monsters of the bubbling deep, your maker's praises spout. Up from the sands, ye codlings peep and wag your tails about. Ha!
I don't like your hair.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Oh, I'm annoying. Your hair is done. Excuse
Connecticut.
me.
Quiet now, pupils! This noise will not do. I am in charge and you will do what I tell you. To me, you will listen. Sit up and don't slouch. Now, who can tell me the meaning of ow?
I know the meaning. Who doesn't know that? That's what you shout when you sit on a tack.
Funny, you impudent devils! I came prepared, yes, prepared on all levels. Since you 2 boys have responded with smugness, you'll be my examples, my lessons of justice. If one spares the rod, then he spoils the child. I know what it takes to turn wild children mild. Come to the back where your classmates cannot help you.
Mr. Crane, sir, we forgot to tell you. You are invited to our house for supper. We're having lamb fried in breadcrumbs and butter. Roasted fall squash. And potatoes with gravy. Best food in the hollow. If you like it savory. There will be green beans. Sweet sugar beets. Carrots. Baked apples. And pies by the fleets.
Pies.
Alert to this sumptuous signal of food, his urge to punish was quickly subdued.
The pedagogue's mind spun into a trance as delicious morsels appeared and enhanced.
One thought to the next, each thought the more yummy, creating a foodscape for his hungry tummy.
Oh the beans.
Ichabod! Ichabod! Ichabod Crane!
Mynheer Van Ripper!
I'll make this quite plain. We pay you to teach.
Of course!
Where are your students?
What time is it?
This reeks imprudence.
I was just teaching a valuable lesson.
Mynheer Crane, lessons aren't taught in this fashion. You see, I'm sure they enjoyed an early dismissal, found it pleasant, but in order to teach young pupils, they must be present!
I didn't dismiss them. I'm sure they're about, though. They're probably just outside, playing on the...
No. Where they've gone, I don't know, but it isn't here.
It is quite possible that I daydreamed.
Oh, that's clear.
I will go find them. Thank you for your malfeasance.
That word you use troubles me for several reasons. I hope you don't mean that, or used it wrong. I don't think you meant it to be...
So long!
Ichabod took great care to watch his students well. He told them if they'd run off, that they would go to
detention.
He'd teach them cotton mather and superstitions too, and was a fine observer of lessons in the pews. Amen. Dear friends and neighbors, my own precious flock, I bring you a message of Puritan stock.
Yes.
Hard work is a virtue. It is one worth believing. And what is the nemesis of hard work?
What?
Dreaming!
Oh, yes, of course.
Daydreaming, actually, is what I mean. You can't be a dreamer and live your life clean.
I know it can be tempting to let your minds wander, but
think of the usefulness that you might squander!
Ah, very true.
Those who daydream are lazy and sluggish.
I've written down my book, recently published.
What are the outcomes of dreaming, you ask? Not bringing the cows in. Ignoring your class!
Yes! Oh!
You see my point. There are more I could list. I needn't elaborate. You get the gist.
The thinking we do should be of our neighbor. Now, who's in the mood for some manual labor?
Excuse me, Pastor Van Parson?
It's Parson Van Pastor!
I have an idea.
Oh, what a disaster.
Now is an odd time, perhaps after the service.
I'd like to help.
Oh, this will be worthless.
Singing, as you've heard by my vocal display, is one of my talents, my artistic forte. I volunteer with the most reverence and piety to start, for the ladies, a choral society.
I don't know.
Is he serious?
What's the meaning of this?
The female sound of this church is unique, but I can teach them my skilled vocal technique. The ladies do well, but with musical tutoring, the boards and the rafters of this church would ring. Ahem. Hobgoblin nor foul fiend.
So the lessons began, and we don't need to mention, this gave the new teacher some more female attention.
He knows he ain't no time.
Shall life inherit?
Ichabod was considered a hero who made a great difference, awakening the Hollow's cultural interests.
He'll fear not what men say.
He'll labor night and day
To be a pilgrim.
Hobgoblin nor foul fiend can daunt his spirit.
With the girls he had met, there was a beauty he hadn't met yet. Katrina Van Tassel, coquette of the Hollow. She was the girl that all the boys followed.
Baltius Van Tassel was Katrina's father, a prosperous farmer, whom everyone honored, a hardy soul who was merry and healthy, a man of the Hollow who was truly wealthy.
Baltus's farm seemed to stretch on forever. Its bounty was plentiful, well beyond measure. He and his wife Van Tassel by name, were proud of their daughter, their farm, and their fame.
But they weren't too proud to be stuck up and snooty, for they were as kind as Katrina had beauty.
The portals to Katrina's heart were a quagmire, guarded by many a rustic admirer.
But clearing the field of most of those rivals was good old Brom Bones, robust and entitled. Everyone knew that Katrina was his.
Everyone except Katrina, that is. Brom piqued her interest, but he was a boaster who never proposed, which perplexed and provoked her. She often wished that a brave and bold champion would take the field back from the boisterous Brahm.
Ichabod's mouth was a wide open door. He had never seen so much beauty before.
Could he be the one? The champion rival? No time like the present to make his arrival. That old hollow magic worked its hocus pocus. Ichabod found himself totally focused.
What are you doing?
Yes, what are you doing? I'll take it from here, Chief. You just keep on moving.
Ichabod Crane, I have not had the pleasure.
The name is Brom Bone.
I was talking to her, sir. Delighted to meet you. Forgive my transvesting, but the young lady is who I'm addressing.
Did he say transvesting?
I think so. What's that?
Master Crane! My name is Dirk Vanderflat.
Ah, do you mean Van Derflat?
No, Vanderflat. Now listen. This is Brom Bones, and there's something you're missing. He gets what he wants, and it might seem a hassle, but that girl is his.
Who?
Katrina Van Tassel.
Oh, that's her name. How gentle, how fair. It speaks to me softly like two lips in prayer. A name filled with music. How beautifully sweet. It sings like the wind as it blows through my cheeks. Wait, as it blows through the a symbol, a beacon, a flicker, a ray, a language that speaks to my heart's beating sway. Katrina Van Tassel, I am your humble servant. This meeting's divine, yet most inadvertent.
That's enough, Icky. Weren't you on your way?
I'm happy to meet you too, Ichabod Crane. These are my parents.
Oh, I'd love to meet them. The pleasure's all mine.
How kindly you treat them. Mama and Papa, here's Ichabod Crane.
Ah, the new schoolmaster, I have heard your name. You live and teach in the school by the brook?
And rumor has it you've read several books.
Well, I am the new master, it is as you've said, and guilty as charged. I'm extremely well read.
Well, my name is Baltus, and this is my wife.
He's lived in the hollow his entire life.
We live through the woods.
Past the stone boundary.
But don't let that fool you. I own half the county.
Well, I'm honored to meet two whose wealth is so rife. Baltus and Mrs. Van.
Oh, please, call me wife.
What's that?
That's right.
What is?
Wife is my name.
When I met her, I said, Godzooks, what a day. My father would always say,
since he was 8,
if you meet a girl named wife, don't hesitate. Marry her quickly and then start a farm.
A woman named wife is a farm, good luck charm.
I did not disobey, heaven forbid.
My name is the best thing my folks ever did.
Oh.
Our farm has grown tenfold.
15, I declare. And Katrina's our only child.
Our single heir.
Well, it seems like your farm is the best place in town.
I like you, Crane. Come, we'll show you around.
Can you believe that?
He's out of his class. What a nitwit.
Yeah, an absolute jackass. Let's go, Katrina. Come. I'll take you riding.
No. What I do is of my own deciding. I rather liked meeting Ichabod Crane.
You can't be serious.
I am.
He's insane. Nobody talks like that.
Women don't like it.
How would you know? Have you ever tried it?
Whoa. You can't tell me you like that just then.
He was poetic. A true gentleman. His speech is refined. He knows how to woo. You don't do that, Brahm. Or don't you know how to?
What, are you kidding? You like how he speaks?
You mean how your name is like wind through his cheeks?
All right, not that one specifically, no. But he speaks with a charm. And that's more than you know. It's time to grow up. That works on some ladies, but that doesn't work on me. I'm not a baby.
You boys should take lessons from old brother Brahm. Ladies don't mind it to be strung along.
Not one word from you, not one single sound. If you speak again, you'll be eating the ground!
Ichabod's gifts for conversing politely yielded results that suited him nicely, and being the Choral Society's mentor, he went to work with its most recent member, Katrina. Found singing out loud terrifying. He'll labor night and day to be a pilgrim.
You have the prettiest voice.
He was lying.
Oh, you're just saying that. You're being sweet.
Well, speaking of singing, I find it a treat to listen and behold your tender expression.
Is this how you talk in all your voice lessons?
Oh, on the contrary, this one is special. Could you compare Earth to the things most celestial?
Master Crane.
Oh, tut, 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 tut. Please call me Ichabod. Aren't we now friends? Master Crane seems a little odd.
Ichabod?
Yes?
May I ask you a question?
Why, yes, of course. I'm at your discretion. Ask me your question. I stand here defenseless. I listen well, and I'm told I'm licentious.
Licentious?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the right word choice?
Go ahead, ask me and give your thoughts voice.
You are a man of knowledge and skill, philosophies, letters, and eloquence. Still, you've come to our hollow to teach and to proffer. But what does our village to you have to offer?
Well,
I have my own dreams of what lies outside beyond the hollow. The world is so wide. I long to see so much more than this farm. Don't get me wrong, Sleepy Hollow has charms, but I love to muse and indulge my wonder of what it would be like to leave here and wander. Have you seen the world? Do you have stories of people and sights and new territories?
Actually,
I'm on my own here, and I do my best, but sometimes I just don't fit in with the rest. Do you find that hard to believe?
Well,
it's true.
But the boys in the hollow, they all want to be with you, and you enjoy that attention, I think.
Like any girl, I like glances and winks, but they are all roughness without sensitivity. They all lack culture and true sensibilities. Perhaps that's why you're such a breath of fresh air. You speak with a tenderness, as if you care.
You've raised some questions, perhaps 2 or 3. Now, let me just answer in all honesty. I share your sentiment for fitting in. Perhaps our 2 souls are much more like kin. Perhaps friendships like ours grow the deeper. We search for devotion and not something cheaper.
Honesty may be a relative word. The truth in his answers became slightly blurred. Katrina's favor Ichabod cherished, and unconsciously, he began to embellish.
I know the world and all of its treasures. Its beauties abound, and so do its pleasures. Beyond the hollow are great cities and kingdoms, and in these learned bastions I've gained all my wisdom. Wisdom that has led me down the road less traveled. The road has been bumpy, paved only in gravel, but it has led me to this glorious glen, made all the more glorious by a special friend.
Bones has come to see you, my dear.
Send him away, Mama. I've got a guest here.
Do you want to tell him yourself?
No, not really.
After his visits last week... Oh, that's chilly. Now that you've made our Katrina a singer, Master Crane, won't you please join us for dinner?
Oh, well, if Katrina wishes...
Of course you're invited.
Then wash up for dinner.
Oh, I'd be delighted!
Ichabod had the best meal of his life with Katrina and her parents, Baltus and wife.
Meanwhile, Bones was annoyed and perplexed.
I don't understand. He's at her house, eating dinner.
What next?
I don't understand. What's his appeal?
Well, it's probably because he feels her sense of value and self-worth. He sees her in a whole person, more than just a pretty face. Her aspirations and sense of wonder are satiated by Ichabod Crane's perpetual attentiveness and an observant demeanor, evoking an affirmative reaction in Katrina, whose needs in these regards have long been unfulfilled. I don't know, that's just my thought.
Ichabod Crane doesn't know where he's messing.
We need to teach that teacher a lesson.
Brom and the boys went to work right away, trying their best to wreck Ichabod's day. But he was unthwarted and passed through the town, his head and heart flying. He could not come down. Cupid's fair arrow was firmly embedded as he ambled all through the hollow, lightheaded.
Pedagogue plunged once again, away from the class, the lessons, the children. He dreamed of Katrina, the Hollow's fair sweetheart. But then his dream lapsed into a life of comfort.
Katrina's a beauty in everyone's eyes, but Baltus's farm made her much more of the prize. Huge tracts of land with grazing livestock, miles of grain and geese by the flock. Every plump thing, all the silos of grain, all overseen by Ichabod
Crane. No need to teach these runny-nosed dunces. If Baltus's farm and his daughter become his, he let his tummy grow big like his life. An important man with the prettiest wife.
As Baltus grows older and his health decreases, I'll be right there to pick up the pieces. He can't take it with him. Possessions don't follow. Why not be the envy of all Sleepy Hollow?
Lost in his thoughts and forgetting his duty, Ichabod's class became loud and unruly.
What? Ichabod Crane? Mr. Crane! Ichabod! This classroom is dreadful. Do you find that odd?
No, quiet!
Is this what your school is, a disordered riot?
Pastor Van Parson!
It's Parson Van Pastor! I have never seen such an inept schoolmaster. You have no control, sir. This class rules you!
No, that's not true. Come here, you. This one's always been trouble. I'll show you control, and I'll make it double.
But no, this isn't fair. What did I do? Look at you.
Not so fast, boy. You'll also be joining. You're just as bad and twice as annoying.
What about everyone else?
They're all rascals!
Congratulations. You'll be my example.
Examples?
Wait, what? That's what he said last?
Making examples is his favorite pastime.
Justice with me is as swift as it gets. There. You see, Parson, I just found my culprits. I'm in control. You'll see I'm all about it. It's possible this won't hurt. But I doubt it.
Youchie!
Ron got an earful from his young devotees about the schoolmaster's odd classroom proclivities. They passed on stories, some true and some false, about the new teacher and his many faults. Ron's ears perked up as his protege slathered on about witchcraft and the old Cotton Mather.
Who's Cotton Mather?
The boys then explain.
He's a dead preacher on Mr. Crane's brain. He was from Boston.
Crane thinks he was vital.
He was involved in the Salem witch trial.
He wrote a book.
It's all about witching.
Crane's so superstitious.
He is?
We're not kidding.
Brahm's face reflected his inner rascality, flirting with methods to tease the mentality of the new pedagogue. His eyes got wide.
I got an idea, boys. Tonight, we ride.
fantastic! Somebody's cursed the schoolhouse with black magic!
Ichabod Crane! What is the meaning of this?
I didn't do it. There's something amiss.
Did you learn nothing from school in Connecticut? Being amidst these signs makes you an advocate.
No. I'm devout.
If I were alive, I would have my doubts. Witching and sorcery both on a hell, and you can't abide with it here where you dwell. Heed well the lessons that were taught in Salem.
Yes, I've read your book. I know it verbatim.
This can't go unpunished. It must be made known.
Witchcraft of any kind I don't condone. I want nothing of it. I am not a participant.
Not good enough, Crane. You must be more vigilant.
Then what must I do then?
You must find the source. You must snuff it out.
Like a candle.
Of course.
Shall life inherit, then fancies fly so far away, you fear not what men say. You labor night and day to be a pilgrim. Amen.
Dear friends and neighbors, today we examine the evils that divert men's focus like mammon. Temptations by riches, by treasures of men are some of the ways that... Oh no, not again. Yes, Master Crane.
This is not about riches.
I'm not surprised.
Sleepy Hollow has witches!
Mr. Crane, that will do!
Come to the schoolhouse, you'll see it's all true! The witches broke in and cast hexes and spells. They left their dark symbols and cantings and bells. This may propagate. The school's just the start. Who knows where else they may spread their dark arts?
Well, it's about time.
Yay, something exciting.
Just think. Sleepy Hollow has had a witch sighting.
Oh, at last, something here that might keep us from snoring.
Oh, my whole life here in the Hollow's been boring.
Don't get me wrong. I am slightly concerned.
And witches should probably be crushed,
hanged,
or burned.
But until then.
Until there's an indictment.
Let's just enjoy this new witch hunt excitement!
I know what I'm saying. I'm kind of an expert. I've read about this, many sermons and excerpts. This isn't funny. It's no laughing matter.
It's not?
No, of course not.
Just as doesn't matter!
Well, it appears by the tone that I may not be welcome, so this is a meeting I'll excuse myself from.
Oh, no, Cotton Mather, don't leave me alone!
Good luck, Ichabod. You're on your own.
Who is he talking to?
Who's Cotton Mather?
Just listen, girls. This can't get any better.
Be a gentleman, don't be so mean.
I'm not the one standing making a scene. Just watch the show, Katie. Enjoy it. You should. You'll thank me later. It's just getting good.
My name's not Katie. And why should I thank you?
Me and the boys pulled that old schoolhouse voodoo.
Brom Van Brett, you didn't.
I did.
When will you ever stop being a kid? Excuse me, Parson.
Katrina?
That's right. I believe something must be brought to light.
Yes, girl, what is it? What have you to say?
Ichabod Crane has been wronged here today. He is the victim of one of Brom's jokes. The spells in the schoolhouse are all a big hoax.
How can you verify this bizarre story?
Because, in his waggish way, Brom Bones just told me.
Abraham Van Brunt! Rise so I can see you! What have you to say? Is this true?
Me and the boys were just...
Is it true?
Yes, sir! We did up the schoolhouse!
For this misdeed and for Master Crane's injury, I think Brahm owes Master Crane an apology.
There is no need. I can laugh with the best, but I'm humbled, Katrina, by your sweet request. You personify all that is dear, and in your kindness, my heart takes great cheer.
He does have a way with words.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I'll say.
I could sit here for his sweet talk all day.
Brahm is a strong, burly, roistering blade. So, I understand the mistake that he made. With no education, he lacks understanding. On his intellect, we can't be too demanding. We must have pity on Mr. Van Brunt, whose deficiencies led him to do such a stunt. All is forgiven, Brahm. There is no ill will. The wise learn from their mistakes, just as you will. We do not fault you for your meddlesome game. You lack of refinement, and that's what's to blame. Maybe you'll grow up yet. I won't be surprised if one day these citizens might call you wise. Try to be better. Our hope for you is that you become clever. So come, shake my hand, Brahm, and receive my prolonction. May you be blessed and a man of retinction.
Retinction? That's not a word! But nobody cared. If you dropped a pin, you could hear it in there.
How very well said.
Oh, just how does he do it?
Ichabod won the crowd over.
And knew it.
This never happens. In church, this was odd, but that old congregation began to applaud. Even the parson, who was still annoyed, found his own hands likewise employed. The tables had turned, and Crane was the hero, making Brahm Bones look like a big 0.
Ichabod soon found himself greatly admired, but one small letter took him even higher.
Master Crane, I hope this finds you well.
Very.
For we invite you to our farm to make merry.
At our harvest frolic we throw once a year, and we would be honored if you could be here.
There will be dancing, and friends you can greet, and all the delicious food you can eat.
Oh, this sounds fun.
We hope you don't miss it.
I don't intend to.
We long for your visit.
Bring in the season. We'll celebrate autumn. Balkans.
And wife.
Wait! There's more at the bottom.
Ichabod, my parents throw this each year, but it won't be fun for me without you there. And that's all it took. It sealed the deal.
Oh, I can't let Katrina down. I'd be a heel. Oh, fair Katrina, I'll treasure this letter. And it seems like my luck just keeps getting better. Yes.
And that is why it is a sin to interrupt the parson in the middle of his sermon. Blessings to all in attendance this morning. Those who weren't here will receive my stern warning. If you've been invited and have been deemed worthy, we'll see you this Friday at the Van Tassel's party. And for those of you who have been left in the lurch, we'll see you right here next Sunday at church. Amen.
Bye.
Oh, hello! Mynheer Van Ripper!
Ichabod, you sure seem chipper?
Chipper? Yes, indeed. I'd say that's accurate. I'm on the list for the party.
Oh, imagine that.
It's well known that you're not invited.
Of course.
So I just wondered, might I use your horse?
Do you know how to ride, Master Crane?
Well, I've read all about it. It must be the same.
Well, reading and doing are two different things, and I don't have time to trust your imaginings. I'm sorry, Ichabod.
No, wait, Hans! I shouldn't have asked you with such nonchalance. I'm in your debt and appeal to your favor, and I have no right to display such behavior. I ask for your pity in hearing my question. I'd never decry the trust of your possession. I humbly entreat you.
Entreat?
Just a bit, to make an impression.
Oh, it's a girl, isn't it?
Oh, your powers of reasoning, sir, do you great credit. To ride in on a mighty steed would be.
Oh, forget it. Listen, you're an odd bird, even for an outsider. But you can't use my stallions if you're not a rider.
Oh.
Okay, on second thought, I do have a horse. You say you've read about riding?
Of course.
Well, I was young once, and I guess I'm starting to soften. Don't get ideas. This won't happen often. I've got the horse. Can you handle the power?
Yes, of course.
Fine then. You can use gunpowder.
Ooh, gunpowder. Now that is a name with some gallop.
Come by next Friday. We'll saddle him up.
The week flew by quickly like time in a hurry. On Friday, the teacher dismissed the class early. He needed time to get ready for the party!
Ichabod Crane, you are one dapper young smarty. Fate's on your side, 'cause you're doing it right. Katrina is waiting there for you tonight. Is it your smile, your wink, or your smirking? Ha! Whatever it is, keep it up. 'Cause it's working.
Ichabod followed his dreaming profusion toward what seemed to him quite a valid conclusion.
Just keep up the charm, keep that old magic clicking. Katrina's a peach that's ripe for the picking. Then old Baltus's farm will be in my reach, and I can relax. Oh, no need to teach. Everything's falling in place as it should. Ichabod, you sly dog. Boy, are you good.
The teacher never felt so debonair. So he took one last look and combed one last hair.
He arrived at Von Ripper's, a New York Don Juan, to pick up the mighty steed he would ride upon.
Oh, Mynheer Van Ripper!
I have what you need.
Hey, where is he?
Here.
This is the steed?
Oh, I never said steed, I said horse.
Yeah, but wow.
Oh, he said 28 years of pulling a plow. Oh, he's so old, I just let him graze with my cattle. This might be his first day in a saddle. Oh.
Well, how will I ride him? What if he bucks?
If he bucks, you'll die. So good luck.
Do most horses slope like that?
Oh, He's just disfigured. Come here.
Oh, well, this won't make quite the impression I pictured.
Oh, that's fine. If you don't want him, I'll just take him.
No. I'm grateful. I just hope he makes it.
So, Ichabod took the mighty gunpowder and got to the party at the feasting hour.
Okay. Go away.
Ichabod's senses, upon his arrival, were inundated by the frolic feast table. First, the aroma, then the sight aroused the pedagogue's keen appetite.
He breathed in deeply to nurse the sensation. A glorious gastronomic stimulation. There were sweet, oily cooks and fried sugar dough. Crisp, crumbling crullers, and
can it be so?
It can, and the cakes.
Oh, the cakes, it's uncanny.
Sweet cakes and shortcakes and
the whole cake family.
And then there were
pies.
His eyes grew much wider. Peach pies, apple pies,
and pumpkin.
With cider, delectable preserves of peaches and plums, quinces and pears and cranberries.
Yum.
Chicken and pheasant, smoked beef.
Oh, a dream.
And together with fresh bowls of milk and cream.
It all seemed the best the world had to offer. Until he looked left and saw Baltus's daughter.
The schoolmaster's here!
I'm not concerned.
Even though your loves have been utterly spurned?
No, it has not. That's just how girls do it. They play hard to get.
Oh, I thought you blew it.
I didn't blow anything. I've got it in hand.
Look, Brom, we all know that you're more the man. But Ichabod knows something that has you fooled. I'd hate to say it, but you're getting schooled. Ask her to dance.
No! Of all the ideas. You know I don't dance.
Yes, I know, Brom, but he does.
Trust me, as much as I'd hate to admit it, Katrina and Crane made a lovely exhibit.
I didn't know he could dance.
No, me neither.
Those two have emerged as the party's main feature.
I didn't like it, but now I've been swayed.
They go together like lemons and aid.
Isn't it strange how she dismissed Brombones?
Well, look at him there with his head down. Alone.
I'm not complaining. I still want romance.
If Katrina won't take him, then we have a chance!
But the roistering blade, the man of all confidence,
had a distinctly new, uncheerful countenance.
No other woman approached him that night.
To leave him alone in his thoughts only seemed right.
Brom was
perplexed.
I don't understand. How is my best second place to this man?
Ichabod, though, had the time of his life.
Far from any tension or strife.
He was all ease as he laughed, ate, and smiled,
reliving the joy that he felt as a child.
But there was a moment, though, missed by the throngs,
when daughter Van Tassel regarded young Brom.
It was a look
Even Brahm didn't know it.
And gone in a moment, with care not to show it.
Now, as it happens at these harvest parties,
Baltus would call out,
It's time for some stories! Let's hear your adventures, your news, and your tales. Give us your best and draw out the details!
The guests gathered round, and all the best sophists spun out their stories on myriads of topics. The war.
And that's how Corporal Cletus McGee trapped 7 redcoats up a tall tree.
Espionage.
The traitor fooled everyone. The dirty spy. But we all got justice when we watched him hang high!
And there was a rant by a woman with wrinkles, a nag of a woman named Old Dame Van Winkle.
My husband, Rick, the lazy do-nothing, left the house with his dog Wolf to go hunting. Go some work, Rick! I gave him a bone, and that's the last time I ever saw him. For 18 years, nobody knows where he hid. All that man, leaving me, kids. It's as though he disappeared in thin air.
The nagging was too much for old Rip to bear.
I heard that, codger. Enough of your yapping.
well, he's likely nearby.
He's probably napping. A nap in the woods for some quiet instead.
Perhaps he'll wake up yet.
Yes, after she's dead.
Laugh all you want with your shameful displays, but I think the horsemen took my Rip away.
The horsemen. The horsemen.
Remember that, Hessian?
That was the first Ichabod had heard him mentioned.
The horseman? What's that?
The Hollow's great ghost. The topic that everyone dreaded the most.
A dread that was reveled in, craved even, savored. The Hollow's enchantment wreaked this behavior.
The shift in the mood of the throng was abrupt. Everyone waited for whom would speak up.
The atmosphere moved from lightness to dire for all except one who felt a small fire starting to glow in his jealous heart, a fire of cunning, of craft, and of art.
No country gentleman, Brahm was no dancer. He was not learned or quick with an answer, but he could tell tales with aplomb and allure. He was the Hollow's most apt raconteur.
Headless!
What's that?
The headless horseman. He rides a mount that's half horse and half goblin. The most famous spirit that haunts in this glen.
A specter on horseback that chills hearts of men. He rides like the thunder at midnight, it's said. His figure is lacking just one thing.
A head.
Throughout the valley, it's far and wide rumored that he is the ghost of a fierce Hessian trooper whose head was shot off and reluctantly traveled with some cannonball during some nameless battle of the revolution. With this distinct scar, having been buried in the old churchyard, he gallops the woods in moonlit routine in quest of the head that he lost at the scene.
Deep in the woods, he finds riders alone, taking their heads in the quest of his own. He knows when you're out, when you're riding alone. Oh, and he prefers heads held by necks that are long. Those are the heads that are best for the taking. Most don't stand a chance. There is no escaping. Unless you're me. I met that night-riding specter of fright last year at this time on this very night. I was on this road past midnight, alone, making my way through the woods to my home. When there in the woods, I felt something strange, just a small chill, or some subtle change. I halted my horse, not sure why, who knows, but over my shoulder, dappled in shadows, I caught a glimpse that I always will dread. A horse with a man, but the man had no head. The hairs on my neck all stood at attention. I realized I was beholding the Hessian. Does he see me with no eyes to obey? Perhaps, if I'm still, then he'll be on his way. His hand slowly pulled out the sword from his scabbard. My thoughts of his blindness were then quickly shattered. He grew twice the size and he reared up his horse. So I turned and dug my spurs in with great force. Daredevil, yaw! On was the chase. I knew I must win, or it would be my last race. Through hill and through dale, and all through the wood, I pushed old Daredevil as fast as he could. Everybody knows I'm the best in the county, but he was as fast. My head was his bounty. His goblin horse blew on my back, his saber swinging and swishing attacks. I knew just ahead was the bridge to the church. Make it to that, and he's left in the lurch.
If you reach that bridge,
as it says by the legend,
the specter will vanish and his power ends.
So I dug my heels in the Daredevil's ribcage in one final effort to thwart the ghost rampage. I've never seen my horse so fearful before, but in one fear-filled burst, he released his full store of strength as he pulled away from the dread trooper. Crossing the bridge, we collapsed in the stupor. The horsemen leapt into the air as we feared, but then, with a thunderclap, he disappeared. This is the truth, or I wouldn't admit this. Most don't survive. I'm a living eyewitness. The headless horseman is real, I warn you. And everyone here in this room knows it's true. At midnight, you'll hear him go thundering home. So stay in your home until morning is nigh.
He's right. Yes, I've heard him. Don't get caught alone. It's just as he said.
Or my name's not Brombo!
One could say Brom left his mark on the evening. The teacher's imagining spun out, careening. He now had the horseman locked deep in his head. The party was ended, and goodbyes were said.
The feelings of warmth and of joy from before were now distant memories that he longed for. If stories were arrows and Brom were an archer, then he hit the chink in the pedagogue's armor. The one spot he knew would do the most damage. Ichabod's racing fear could not be managed. The road closed around him with darkness and sound. Every small noise enough to confound. What's that? Who goes there? Oh, Bodkins, show yourself, I say!
Ichabod Crane. Now, what could be the matter?
Who's there? Who calls me?
'Tis I.
Cotton Mather.
Really now, Ichabod, how unbecoming. To mere superstition your mind is succumbing. Perhaps this points to a spiritual weakness. To give in to fear. To entertain bleakness. This will not do. You must shun these dark arts. This will not do for a Puritan heart.
No, I'm loyal. You know that I'm steadfast. I study your sermons each day before breakfast.
Well, be that as it may, this witchery still lingers.
Then what must I do then? What spiritual rigors?
You say that you're steadfast and that you're devout, and you know my writings both inside and out. Yet you may still ask that asinine question.
Please, Reverend Mather, I fear the Hessian. I'm here only with you as my escort, and to be honest, you offer no comfort. Wait, I apologize if that was angering. What is this silence? Say something, anything. No. Wait, no, don't leave me, not here, not on my own. Help me! Come back! Not here alone. Come on. I'm going north. For foul fiend can daunt his spirit. He'll labor night and day to be a pilgrim.
The specter will vanish and his power ends.
Oh, there's the bridge! Gunpowder! Go faster! Go! We must make it or we face disaster!
The thundering phantom was almost upon them, but somehow the horse under Ichabod launched them across the church bridge with a banging plank rattle, stopping the horseman who stood in his saddle.
No! Wait! Yeah, gunpowder! What? Gunpowder! I'm safe!
Said the teacher who looked back quite managed to see if the ghost by the rule would advantage in a flash of fire and thunder and brimstone, leaving him with a ghost tale of his own. But as he looked, the horseman took umbrage, pointing at Ichabod, who had no coverage. He held high the head that he held in his hand, and what happened next, one could scarce understand. He hurled his missile with a ghoulish sway, and let fly the head at his unwary prey.
The following morning, by Von Ripper's gate, was Gunpowder, who stood serenely and ate, soberly cropping the grass by the road, telling no tales, like a horse that's old. But he had no saddle, and down underneath, his bridle was off in the grass by his feet.
Ichabod made no appearance at breakfast. Given his appetite, this piqued some interest. Mid-morning hour, and then dinner came. And then it went by, but no Master Crane.
The magic was thick. The people could feel it. It's what they lived for. To inhale.
And breathe it. Where is Ichabod?
I have not seen him.
Who knows?
Check by the brook and look for his clothes. Search all the roads.
Search the dirt.
Search the gravel. And while you're at it, search for my saddle.
Riders were sent out.
They were off to the races.
Making their inquiries.
And soon found some traces.
His saddle was found trampled in dirt.
Evidence of a horse chase was overt. The footprints were deep, made with furious speed, and were led to the bridge, and there in the weeds was Ichabod's hat, all trampled and tattered, and there, close beside it, a pumpkin, well shattered.
Sometimes Brom Bones was caught looking smug. Whenever the pumpkin would be brought up, he would just shrug, as though he had something he would not say. Brom Bones was different beginning that day.
For days by the brook, Sleepy Hollow men hovered, but Ichabod's body was never discovered. Ichabod's personal items were few and held for all of Sleepy Hollow to view.
2 shirts. 2 corduroy small clothes. A razor. A book of psalms. And this other, by Cotton Mather.
The History of Witchcraft, a New England almanac. But he kept another book hidden in back. An old book of dreams and vague superstitions. A book that opposes all my written position. But what do I know? I'm just in his head, even though I've been 100 years dead.
On the last page of that book in question, almost unnoticed but well worth a mention, were some scribbled in verses and lines to fair Katrina in meter and rhyme.
Katrina. Look, Katrina.
I'm ignoring you, Brom.
I know.
Oh, how revealing! He understands. But does he have feeling? We're going riding, Katrina, let's go. Or we'll have a picnic, so you know. Well, I don't like picnics. And your horse is nasty. But would you ever know that? No. 'Cause you never ask me. You never ask, and you're never wrong, and no! Girls do not like to be strung along.
Who told you?
Dirk.
Sorry.
Damn.
When we first started, Brom, it was exciting. But I know you better now, and it's enlightening. Just let me be now. Just leave me alone. I don't want to see you.
May I see you home?
This isn't funny, Brom. Please go away. Go play with your boys.
I got something to say. I didn't like that Ichabod Crane. Now that he's gone, maybe I stand to blame. I wanted him gone, that bookworm school smarty. That's why I scared him so much at the party. But I am no fool. I learned some things too. That teacher taught me things that I never knew. I won't be as smart as him. That I'll admit. I won't be as charming or have as quick wit. But I learned you're a lady who needs to be won. And I learned that I'm lonely if you're not my one. I'm sure that you'll miss him. That I understand. So I'll stand as far back as you demand. But if there's ever a time you want an ear, please look no further. I'll be right here. I've been a self-centered, jealous-filled man. From now on, will you just call me Abraham?
Abraham?
Brom, wait up! For some Sundays after, there was speculation about the event by the whole congregation. Small knots of gazers, gapers, and gawkers at the churchyard or bridge became talkers.
They'd spin their own truths as they'd rant and invent, creating a legend at the bleak event. The teacher was gone, and there could be no question.
He must have been seized by the galloping Hessian.
But as the time passed and the magic grew thicker, there came some news that gave hope a new flicker.
An elderly farmer, some several years after, came back from New York with the story's new chapter.
He brought news some couldn't abide.
The schoolmaster Ichabod Crane is alive! I'm back from New York, and that's what I saw. He lives in the city where he studied law, becoming successfully followed on mission, becoming an esteemed New York politician. He wrote in the newspapers and viral poet, has now been named Justice of the 10-Pound Court.
But old country wives who judge these things best, they know what happened to their fate-filled guest.
They claim the truth and maintain to this day that Ichabod Crane was spirited away.
By some supernatural means that dark night.
That story is better and best by the light. Round the old winter fires where tales and notions
are told of the teacher
and the headless horseman.